And to hear perhaps the beat of your heart. And maybe you even hear some other little noises in the body. Sometimes if we shift or move a little bit, the joints might sound a little bit creaky. And then allow yourself to hear something deeper. Right? Allow yourself to hear perhaps the message of what it is that you need today. And let that be an opportunity to bring an intention into this practice for yourself. Bring your hands onto your belly and slide one hand up to the heart space. And let the upper arm bones just relax down on the floor so that you're not struggling to hold the arms upright. And just listen to what flows through you now. There's a difference for sure in how we feel in the beginning of a practice in comparison to how we feel at the end of a practice. Maybe there's some stress or anxiety, or maybe there's some joy or some peace already coming in. So whatever it is that you witness, whatever quality flows through you now, just listen to it. Whether it's the shadow or the light, every bit of those qualities make up who we are. And then when you're ready to take your next in-breath, release the hands from the body, reach the arms up and over the head, and slowly start to extend the legs down your mat, taking a nice full body stretch, maybe pointing the toes, right? Elongating the body, creating a little arch in the spine, and a really yummy stretch. Good. When you take your next exhalation, please draw your right knee into your chest. Now, if you feel like you need to bend that left leg again back into that half-conscious resting pose, by all means, you can do that. Right? If it's comfortable leaving it extended, that would be great. All right, flex the toes. And then start to move through that ankle joint, circling the right foot, flaring it maybe with the toes, pointing and flexing a bit, right? Maybe you're hearing some pops and clicks here. Good. And then allow that right knee to open out to the right. So you might just hold it with the right hand and let the left hand come back to the belly. Right. And then bring it back through the center and roll that knee over to the left. So you're actually rolling just a few times back and forth through that hip joint. Try to keep that lower back on the ground and keep that hand on the knee. So you're giving it a sense of control, right? So you're just noticing, right? Anybody have little pops and clicks going on in there? My hips do like to talk to me. So I try to be a good listener. Good. The next time you come with that right knee over to the left, switch hands and take it into a deeper twist. So you can let that lower back kind of lift up, that right hip lift up, and maybe that right arm open out to the right, taking a nice twist here. Good. And then with that next inhale, bring that right knee back to center. Switching hands, open the right knee out to the right. Let the left arm open out. Yeah, so it doesn't have to touch all the way down, but we're taking a nice external rotation in that right hip. Good. And then inhale, back to center. Hands down by your side. See if you can straighten the right leg up to the ceiling. Point the toes. Take a nice breath in. And as you exhale, elongate, elongate, elongate down to the mat. Good. When it taps down, inhale, reach the arms up. Point the toes again. Arch the spine. Exhale, hug the left leg in. Now start slow. Move the foot first. Circle ankle. Point and flex, flare toes. I just made it crack. Right, and when you're ready, we're gonna switch by just rolling through the hip joint. So left hand on the left knee, right hand on the belly, open it out to the left. Roll it through the center and over to the right. Not so far for starters, right? Listen to the body, right? When we don't rush, when we are really in the present moment, this is when we become the best listeners. And after you've taken that a few times, when you feel that you are ready, you can switch into that deeper twist. So take the right hand on the left knee, let it cross the midline of the body. Let the left arm open out to the left, and you can just turn the head to look to the left if that's comfortable for your neck. Good. And then on an inhale, come back through center, switch hands. That left hand holds the left knee. The right arm opens out like a wing, and we let that left leg open. Right, maybe it touches down, maybe not, doesn't need to. Nice. And then on the inhale, bring that leg back through the center, arms down by your side, straighten the leg up to the ceiling, point the toes. Get as much length in that leg as possible. And with an exhalation, lower, lower, lower down. Oh, nice and slowly. When it taps, inhale, reach the arms up and over the head. There's that yummy stretch again. And as you exhale, this time, see if you could just hug both knees into the chest and rock and roll a little side to side. Massage that lower back. Maybe the head moves with you side to side. Maybe this neck is talking to you a little. And then eventually you're gonna make your way up to seated. So you could roll even a few times on the spine if you wish. Right, if it feels really good, it's a nice massage for the spine, but if it feels like it's too much, you can just roll over into a fetal position, right, and come up that way. And then make your way into a seated cross-legged position, right? We call this Sukhasana. Right, good. And then in Sukhasana, bring your hands to your heart center. And allow this gentle pressure, maybe even a little bit more firmly than you would normally push the palms together. See if you can allow those hands, the pressure of the hands, to be like an assistant for giving you good posture, right? So the more we press, the more elongation we can get in the spine, the shoulders drop back and down. Good. And then with an in-breath, reach the arms up. And with an exhalation, turn the palms away from you and slowly, like you're moving through water, let them touch back down. Good. We're going to just take that a few times. Inhale up. Exhale, hands to heart. Right, just waking up the shoulder joint is yours talking to you. Inhale up. Exhale down. If yours is talking to you, please listen. Good. Inhale again up. Exhale, heart. Beautiful. All right. Inhale, arms reach up. This time on the exhalation, lower the right hand down and then lean the body over to the right. All right. So we're going to hold here for a breath or two. But I want you to start to notice here if your body is just kind of collapsing, right? We have a tendency to collapse into quite a few poses. This one is definitely one of them. So try to see if you can feel that sensation of when you're about to lift back up, right? To transition to the center and to the other side, right? There's this little lifting energy. So listen for the lifting energy of the body. Take an inhale to rise back up. And exhale, switch sides. Lower left hand, lean the body to the left, soften the left elbow. Good. All right. A little root and a little rise. That is what we're looking for, this dual nature, right? So being aware of something other than the duality of this combination of aversion or preference to poses, but instead the dual nature of the lift and the root. Inhale, rise back up. Exhale, back to the first side, right? And then we're just gonna kind of teeter back and forth. So inhale, lift. And exhale, shift, right? Trying not to collapse. Feel that pop up. And exhale, lower. Good. One more time. Inhale, lift. Exhale to the left. Inhale, lift. And exhale to the right. Now, when you're about to feel like you're gonna lift back up, I want you to kind of pause right there. Oh yeah, I saw that in all of you. Can you feel that difference? So it's like that moment when you're about to lift back up, that's where I want you to hold. Don't hold your breath, but you'll feel the difference, right? There's that balance right there between the root and the rise. Good. Let's find it on the other side. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower, right? And it's like you're just about to lift back up, but you don't actually get up. Good. Breath in and breath out. Really nice. Use an inhalation. Left arm comes up. And exhale, hands to the floor in front of you and start to walk your hands forward. Walk, walk, walk until you find yourself folding forward, letting the head hang, getting a nice elongation through the side body. Seeing if you can feel the roots here, right? The hands pushing down and forward, the sitting bones and the tailbone reaching down and back. And then maybe that spaciousness, that lifting action will be felt across the back body. Good. And from here, if you're able to, you could actually lift your bottom up and roll over those shins. If that's too difficult, you can always come off to the side and just sweep yourself up into a tabletop position. Right, so find your way into tabletop, all fours. Good. And take a look at the hands, spread the fingers wide, get a really good base. Pull up from the pit of the belly. Yes, and start to feel if you can find that dual nature here. The grounding down that also has you rise up. And if you're not sure, you can kind of test the waters by purposely letting everything go, right? You can just kind of sink down, right? And you feel like, okay, this is all root and no rise. So find that rise here. Give me one really good breath. As you exhale, draw the hips back into child's pose. Let the forehead rest on the floor. You might even for a moment bend the elbows and let the elbows rest on the floor. Good. And just feel this moment, matching it with your intention, reminding yourself to listen to your body. And if you need to rest, you could always come here, no invitation necessary. Extend the arms as far forward as you can. Get the elbows and the forearms up off the mat. And then lift your head up, look toward the front of your mat and toward your fingers. Inhale, lift the hips up. Start to rock the body forward. See how much space you have, right? Some of you might actually be able to lower the hips down into a high cobra. Maybe this is too much for you. Listen to your body, right? If you do, don't collapse. Lift that heart up and then pull from the pit of the belly and roll and pull yourself back into child's pose. So we're going to take that a few times, back and forth. Inhale. Lifting the hips, rolling forward. Maybe each time you actually find a little bit more accessibility and your exhale pulls you back. So you don't actually have to be in sync with me, right? You can be, or you can just try to follow your own breath. The inhale, forward and up with the heart space. The exhale, pulling the hips back. Child's pose, one more round. Inhale, lifting, and exhale, pulling back. Good. Now coming back to the center of tabletop, which means you're going to bring those hands underneath the shoulders again. Extend your left leg straight back behind you. Keep the toes on the floor. Right? And just do a little rock here. Get into the back of that leg. Good. And then once you feel like you have had a few rounds of stretching out the bottom of the foot and the back of the leg, pull up from the pit of the belly and see if you can just lift that left leg up, float it up in the air. Try to keep it hip height here and gaze down toward the fingertips. If you need to look at me, by all means, do so, but see if you can practice being a really good listener, yeah? All right, keeping that leg elevated, shift it out to the left, right? And then place it down on the mat, right? So now take a look at your leg. Try to make sure that the hip and the knee and the ankle are all in one straight line. So that, yeah, that was a nice adjustment, I saw that. Right, so that it's not coming too far forward and it's not coming too far back. And now we're gonna rock again a little bit. Forward and back. Forward and back, and say hello to the inseam of that left leg. You might feel it in the hip, you might feel it in the back of the thigh, right? Listen to what it's saying to you. How far is enough for you? Some of you might actually be able to draw the hips all the way back to the heels in a half child's pose and a half prasarita with that open leg. And if so, maybe you lift the toes up. So the toes are pointing up. I'm going to just change the angle of my camera a little bit here. I think to give you a better view, just slightly. Yeah. Good. Right. And just breathe. Good. And when you're ready, inhale, lifting the hips up again, flattening out that left foot. Now, see if you can keep the left foot out to the left, but bend the knee, right? And lift that leg up a little higher. This is like a doggy on a fire hydrant, right? Oh yeah, right now, the kind of listening I'm hearing from my hip sounds a bit more like screaming, yeah? So perhaps if yours is screaming, you'll come out of it sooner and extend that left leg back and lower that left knee down. Good, we're gonna take that same action on the opposite side. So right leg extends, toes are on the ground, and we rock. Forward and back, forward and back. When you're ready, find your center, pull up from the pit of the belly, find that root and rise, lifting that right leg up. Yep. So the more we ground down into the parts that are on the floor, that are on the mat, the more rise we will find. Take another breath or so here. And then we're slowly going to shift the right leg out to the right, place it down, take a look and make sure that it is perpendicular to the body, and then start to rock, right? You could literally go an inch or two, right? Listen to what you're feeling. Yeah. And if you feel like, oh, this is really yummy, yeah, maybe you have space to go fully back into that half child's pose and let those right toes kind of pop up. Let the head come down. So listening is an art. And there is definitely a big difference between hearing and listening. Good, maybe another breath or two. Good. When you feel ready, rise back up again. All right, now that leg is going to stay out to the side, but bend the knee and see if you can lift that leg up a little higher. Just giving some strength to that right outer hip. Good, one more breath. And then extending that right leg back and lowering the knee down. Really well done. All right, tuck your toes under. And we're going to come into our first downward facing dog. I'd like you to keep it as a nice gentle down dog. So keep the knees soft, right? Floating the knees up, pressing the hips high and the belly back toward the thighs. And if you feel like you're able to hear, perhaps you can start to walk the dog so you're bending and pressing opposite heels and knees. Right. And just observe, is this posture here feeling like it is equal parts of rooting and rising, or does it feel like a dumping ground? Try to find both. All right. And now allowing your feet to walk to the front of your mat. So take your time. You can take a big step or tippy toes, right? So you're going to find yourself in a forward fold. Keep your feet hips distance or wider and a soft bend in the knees. Grab opposite elbows here and just hang. Yeah, just hang. Good. All right, so you can shake a little. You can shake your head, yes and no. You can sway the torso back and forth. Good. And then I would like you to release your hands and then bring your fingers up to your shins and lift up the spine and the torso halfway. All right, so I'm going to go to the side position here so you can probably get a better view here. Now, this is called Ardha Uttanasana. So this posture is a really good one to witness that perfect balance of rooting and rising. The toes and the feet are grounded, especially the big toe mounds, right? The belly's pulling up and in, shoulders drawing back and down. So there's a nice rise there. When you take your next exhalation, slowly forward fold, right? Maybe the forward fold brings you a little deeper. We're going to take it 2 more times. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, a halfway lift and lengthen. Work on getting a flat back. And exhale, fold in, maybe deeper. One more time, 3 is a charm. Inhale, lift and lengthen. And exhale, fold. Good, soften the knees. Sweep those arms out and rise on up. Good, and draw the hands to the heart. Well done. All right, now bring your hands to your hips and then heel toe, your feet out as wide as your mat. And then let the toes kind of go out to the sides a little bit so they're on an angle. 45 degrees-ish, yeah? All right, so now we're gonna practice making our way into a pose called Malasana, right? Malasana is a squat pose, but you don't have to go fully down into the squat pose, maybe ever, or certainly maybe not immediately. So listen to your body, all right? Keep the hands on the hips, take a nice breath in. As you exhale, start to bend the knees and lower down toward a squat and just see what's available. Like maybe come down halfway, yeah? And then rise back up. Good. All right, take another inhale. Exhale, sink down and let your in-breath pull you back up. Good. This time we're going to add the arms in. Reach them out in front of you, palms face down, big breath in. Exhale, sink down. Maybe you go down a little deeper, maybe, right? And feel that sensation pop back up, right? So there's that root and rise point. We're going to take it 2 more times. Big breath in. Exhale, bend. Maybe you go deeper and then pop back up with the in-breath. Exhale, right? Come on down. And now I'd like you to feel that sensation, right? When you're about to pop back up, but don't go up. Yeah. See if you can bring your hands to your heart. Now, if you need to, hands could come to the floor, right? Or hands could come to blocks by all means if you need to. If you feel like maybe you can get more stability by pushing the palms together like we did earlier, right? So Malasana, if you have open hips, Malasana tends to be a pose where everybody just dumps in. Yeah, how's your breathing? I see you looking, maybe you smile. Good, one more, nice inhale. Oh yeah, and pop back up. Woo, arms reach up. Good, and bring the arms out like a V. So the legs are out like a V, inverted, and the arms are out like a V. This is starfish pose. So good. Breath in and breath out. Nice. Now bring that left hand to the left hip and then lean the body over to the left. Yeah. All right. And so you might notice here that same kind of possibility that you might just go right and dump into the pose. So see if you can find that place where you feel like you're about to lift back up, but you're actually staying in this standing crescent. Good. Inhale, rise on up, reach the left arm up. And exhale, switch sides. Right hand comes to the hip and we lean the body to the right. Yes, so good. Breath in and breath out. Inhale, rise back up. And lower that hand down. Good. Heel toe, those feet together. Maybe they can touch this time, but they don't have to. Okay. Inhale, arms reach up. As you exhale, soften your knees and forward fold. Good. See how that forward fold feels with closer legs together. Fingers to shins. Inhale, lift up halfway and lengthen. And exhale, fold in again. Please step your left foot back, flatten out the left foot, and we're making our way into a warrior 2. So before you rise up, look at your alignment. You want to have that right heel in line with that right heel, with that left heel or left arch. So it's approximately heel to arch or heel to heel alignment. All right, lift the left arm up and then rise on up into a warrior 2. Then nice and deep into that right leg. Good, arms out, parallel to the floor. Oh, so good. Warrior pose. And so once again here, see if you can feel the effects of something rather than the dual nature of aversion or preference to a shape in your body. Good. And then with an inhalation, straighten the right leg, reach the arms up. As you exhale, leave the right leg straight and just extend the arms out again. Good. All right. We're going to make our way slowly into triangle pose, right? We work the side body, we work the inseams of the legs a lot. So start to reach that right arm forward, 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 and then slowly tapping that right hand down to the shin and that left arm up. All right, so here's some pointers, right? I can see a couple of you have that left shoulder curling forward. Pull that left shoulder back. Maybe that means you come up a little higher on the shin with that right hand. Yeah. All right. So now You know that action of rooting and rising. We've seen it in several different orientations of poses. So on an inhale, feel the rise, pop back up. Good. And then exhale, go right back down. All right, we're going to do this a few times. Inhale, pop back up. Don't be in a rush. Exhale, lower it down. Good. One more time. Inhale, pop back up. And exhale, lower it down. And then in this position, you feel like, oh, you're about to pop back up, but you don't actually go anywhere, right? So here's the root and here's the rise. Breathe. So good. And then inhale, rise back up. Woo, bring the hands to the hips. Turn those right toes so they're in the same direction as the left toes, right? I know a lot of you have your back to me. If you feel like turning around to face me, that's fine. If you feel you need to see, or if you're okay with your back to me, that's okay too. So all good. All right. Hands on hips. Breathe. Take a moment to pause and listen. Is your heart beating a little louder? Maybe. Good. Keeping hands on hips, take a nice breath in. As you exhale, hinge at the hips and come forward. See if you can find a flat back, just like you did with that Ardha Uttanasana. Yeah. You can keep your hands on your hips. I'm going to give you two other options to choose from. Perhaps releasing hands from hips, bringing hands to heart center, pressing the palms, getting that good posture here. That's option 2. Option 3 would be extending the arms forward, bicep muscles by the ears, gazing down toward the floor, right? So can you feel what flows through you now? Good. One more breath in. Exhale, slowly lower the hands down into a wide-legged forward fold. If the hands don't touch easily to the floor, you can use blocks here. And then just kind of bending your right knee, lean to the right, and then bending the left and leaning to the left. So just kind of rock back and forth. Right, so this is coming toward a pose called Skandasana. Yeah. And then slowly come back to center. We're going to take this a little bit differently, bringing the hands to the back of the legs. Maybe you can hold on to the calves, right? Maybe you're holding on to the ankles. Just see what's available for you and fold yourself in. And we're going to use our in-breath to be really kind to the self. So slide the hands up the back of the legs, slide the hands up the back of the thighs, up the back of the tush to the back of the hips, until the hands are back on the hips again. Really, really good. Now take those left toes and turn them to the opposite side of the mat, right? All right, reset your alignment if it got off alignment. Bend into that left knee and then extend those arms out, yeah? Finding Virabhadrasana 2 on the opposite side. Good. Listen. Sometimes it's nice just to listen to the quiet. Right? When we hold still in a more challenging pose, the mind isn't often very quiet. It has a lot to say, I know. Take an in-breath, straighten that left leg, reach the arms up. Exhale, keep the left leg straight, arms come out like wings. All right, so just like we did on the other side, turn the head to look over the left middle finger, and we're gonna slowly make our way to Trikonasana. So reach first, reach and get length, feel the stretch in the inseam of the left leg, lower the left hand down to the shin and the right arm up, good. All right, so we're gonna take a few rounds of that going back and forth, finding the root and the rise. Inhale, pulls you up. And exhale, reach and lower. Find that little pop up. And exhale, lower, right? Maybe that desire is to collapse. Try not to. One more time. Inhale, pop up. And exhale, lower. And here's that action, as if you were gonna pop back up, right? Start a little pop up, but don't actually go up. Feel the lift, right? Make sure you're not like scrunching into your toes here. Try to keep grounded without scrunching the toes, right? When we scrunch the toes, it actually tightens the groins. Yeah. So feel as free and open as you can here. One more breath in. Good. And then rise back up. Woo, yes. Hands to the hips. Turn the left toes to be in line with the right. Find that nice wide-legged forward fold again. Reaching the hands either heart up or at hips. I'm going to give you a choice, right? Big breath in. Hinge halfway and hold. Good. Stabilizing, feeling that dual nature. When you feel ready, lower the hands down to the floor. Good. Bend deeply into that right knee, lunge over to the right. And then back to center, lunge deeply into the left knee, over to the left. Good. All right, maybe one more time on each side. Beautiful. And then when you come back to center, look to your right, start to walk your hands around to the right, turning those right toes to the front of the mat, and then stepping that right foot back, downward facing dog. Good. Lowering your knees down. And then bring your hips off to one side and sweep your legs around to your front. Oh, yeah. The body is saying, I'm very happy to be down on the ground. Good. And so we're going to begin here with the traditional Janu Shirsasana. So bend your left leg. And then let that left leg open out to the left, sole of the foot to the inside of the thigh. Yeah. Good. And then just bring your hands to your heart center, right? Find that action. Let the hands be an assistant to your spine to give you good posture. That looks gorgeous. All right. So that right leg is flexed and active and strong. With an inhalation, reach the arms up. And with an exhalation, hinge forward nice and slowly, forward folding over that right leg. Hands can land wherever they land. And just let the spine round, but try to keep the toes pointing upright. Good. Breath in and breath out. And then let's slowly, slowly rise back up. Reach those arms up again. And as you exhale, arms come out like wings. Look to the left. Pivot and twist the body to the left. Let that right hand hold the outside of the left leg and the left hand come to the floor behind you. So although you are looking over the left shoulder, still know what the right leg is doing. Active. Listen to it. Keeping the body in the twisting position, just turn the head to look over the right shoulder. We call this a double helix. So body twisting left, but head twisting right. So good. And then with an inhale, lift the arms up, sweep yourself back to center, and exhale, hands come down. Good. Lifting the left leg up, straighten it out, right? Shake it out if it needs. And then we're going to take that on the opposite side. So bend the right leg, open it out to the right, sole of the foot to the inside of the thigh. Good. Hands come to the heart center, sit up tall. Let that activation of palms pressing be your assistant for good posture. Left leg strong and active. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, hinge and reach forward as you fold. Good. When you arrive, just soften and breathe. Good. Slowly, slowly pulling yourself back up, hands to the heart. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale out like wings. Good. Look to the right. Big breath in. Exhale, pivot and twist the body to the right. Left hand anchors and holds onto the outside of that right leg. And the right hand is to the floor behind you, as close as you can come to the tailbone. So the body stays twisting right. And then you slowly turn the head to the left. So you look over toward that left leg, creating a double helix. So good. And then use your breath to transition. Inhale, lift the arms up, center the torso. Exhale, hands come down by your side, and then straighten both legs out in front of you. Okay. So from Janu Shirsasana, we come to Paschimottanasana. If you need to keep a bend in the knees or put something under the knees here, that is always an option. Hands come to heart center, sit up tall. Inhale, arms reach. And exhale, slowly hinge, right? You might even kind of pause halfway and see how much space you can find. And then slowly fold in. Oh, good. Listen to your body. Listen to the sounds it makes and the messages it gives you. Nice. Next inhalation, slowly, slowly rolling yourself up. Bend your knees, feet to the floor. You can stay where you are. I'm just turning myself so you have a good view of me. Okay. And now we're going to lower ourselves down onto the back. So if you feel like, whew, you are just so tired, you want to go down with no action, no problem. If you want to challenge yourself a little bit here, you can come down in Navasana. So arms reach out forward, heart lifts, feet stay grounded. Take a nice breath in. And as you exhale, work on controlling your body as you lower it nice and slowly. Right? The slower we go, the better we're able to listen. And when you tap down, relax the arms down by your side. Bring the feet underneath the knees so they're bent maybe a little deeper. All right. Now take your right leg and cross it over your left. But take it like knee over knee. Yeah, we have a lot of external rotation. It'd be nice to have a deep internal rotation, closing the hips. So open your arms out like wings. Take a really nice breath in. As you exhale, let the knees relax over to the left and turn the head to the right. And so the dual nature in the poses when we start to wind down creates a big shift. When we really let ourselves surrender into like a cooling down type postures like this one, the lift comes from this sort of sensation that feels like your body is floating like a cloud. The more you let yourself surrender, the more rebound and lighter you will feel. So make sure your jaw is relaxed, face muscles are soft. Use an in-breath to slowly bring everything back to the center, uncross those legs, and mindfully making the switch on the other side, left over right. Arms are still in that nice wing shape. Use your breath to transition. Inhale here. And exhale, knees relax to the right, head turns to the left. And we breathe. Maybe 2 or 3 more cycles of breath. Use an inhale to slowly bring you back to center and bringing the arms down by your side, uncross the legs. Good. All right, extend your left leg down your mat. Extend your right leg down your mat. Now reach both arms up and over your head. Take one nice final stretch here. Point your toes. Elongate the body. Yeah, one more big breath in. And exhale, soften, slide the arms down by your sides, but give them a little bit of space, right? So they're not touching the side of the body, palms face upright. Legs are wider than your hips, maybe even as wide as your mat. Feet flop open. And welcome to Shavasana. And so we're going to stay here for at least a minute or two in quiet and stillness. Use this opportunity to tune inward and listen to your body. See if you can witness that floating sensation arising here. While you hold on to the stillness for a few moments longer, I invite you to listen to whatever quality flows through you now. Maybe it's grace or peace, calm, harmony. Peace flows through me now. Begin by deepening your breath, not in a rush to come out of your pose, but just being aware. As the breath deepens, you can start to create some small movements in the body. Maybe wiggling fingers or toes. And perhaps you even crave a big morning stretch once again. When you feel ready, please make your way into a fetal position, whichever side feels most inviting to you here. And when you pause in fetal position, I'm going to take this moment to just read that quote to you once again by Mark Nepo. To listen is to lean in softly with a willingness to be changed by what we hear. That is a gift of a message. Slowly making your way back to a comfortable seated position. When you arrive, I invite you to bring your hands to your heart center. Perhaps that little firmness here again, finding your best posture with the assistance of the hands. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you so very much for taking the time to listen to me. I'm so grateful. Sometimes spontaneity offers the most wonderful opportunities to communicate and to connect. So thank you for giving me this gift of allowing me to guide you through this ancient and most magical practice that we call yoga. Wishing you a wonderful Wednesday, and until next time, namaste.